Hello, I'm VX and welcome back to the video. Today I want to give you a tutorial on how to turn a ghast in Minecraft into your primary access point for the Nether. This is something where I saw it in the best builds of Minecraft of 2017, a video a lot of you might have seen, and it's just the one thing that stood out to me as the best build because it's something that's really fun to build in creative, but really useful to build in survival, and I love this kind of like looks great but has a great functionality kind of thing, and that's why in today's video I want to give you a step-by-step tutorial on how to build this because it might seem like a really daunting task, especially if you look at the ghast and you see that like following it around is almost impossible, and even if you can, like trying to draw its face is hard because it doesn't make the shocked face unless it's attacking you. Assuming you don't want to build this while looking at a ghast and having it attack you, today I'm going to be giving you an easy tutorial to follow so that you can have a ghast Nether portal too. So hopefully you do enjoy the video. You can like it if you do like it because it helps out the channel and lets me know you do like these sorts of building tutorials. Again, I don't do many of these on my channel, but I always try to make sure it's something that's great for both survival and creative because again, some people just build only in creative, some people build only in survival, and to me it seems kind of silly that there's like separate builds available for both. I feel like this is great fun for either of the two game modes you have available. So I'm showing you in creative just to save some time, of course, and if you want to do this, you're going to need at least 3 blocks. You're going to need a white block of your choice, you can use wool, but I'm using quartz. You need a grey block of your choice, you can use wool, but I'm using concrete because I really love the way concrete has the effect. You're going to need some black, or you can just use obsidian if you want to, and you're going to need some obsidian to make the actual Nether portal part, of course. So yeah, I'm going to recommend going to a mountain to do this because if you go to a mountain, the ghast will look a lot higher off the ground than it does already because again, bear in mind, if you do it on a mountain, you can be like 10 blocks above the surface, and you're about 50 blocks above the surface of the rest of your world, and that's where ghasts are. Like our ghast, I don't know where he's gone, but like, oh, there he is. As you can see, they go very high up, so to get the realistic effect, you want to go to the mountain, and then you want to make like a ladder or a staircase to about 10 blocks above the surface. I'd say higher if you want to go crazy, but about 10 blocks above the surface will be fine, and that's how we're going to be starting our cube today. So again, you want to go, as I just mentioned, you want to have a cube which is 16 by 16 by 16 blocks, because this is a, it's a symmetrical build. You want to make sure it's an even number of blocks. You could go smaller if you want to, but again, I'm going to recommend 16, and I would recommend you stick to that. So just count to 16 in every direction. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If you do it once in every one of the 3 directions, you should be able to just make the rest happen itself. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Everyone loves the counting the best out for building tutorials, right? But again, it is really important that you get this stuff right. So it's important to just sit there, spend some time, be like, what, even though I don't like counting, I'm going to go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And if you're like really uncertain that you've done it right, the easiest way you can tell, the way you'll find out immediately if you've done it wrong, is once you connect it all, if you see something that looks like it's not square, you can measure it just by going diagonally, and if it doesn't work, then you've done something a little bit wrong. So an easy example for that would be, again, just go look across here. Is this perfectly diagonal, or is this not perfectly diagonal? And I think the answer to that question is from this block right here. It is perfectly diagonal, which means we either made the same mistake twice, or again, it's exactly square. So yeah, now we've got a 16 by 16 cube, or actually it's not perfectly done. Again, I'm just going to be doing the frame right now. You can fill this in immediately if you want to, but there's a lot of like tiny details you need to look at the ghast to get. So for now, I just recommend saying, just have a big white cube. Don't fill it in yet, unless you are in creative, because again, some people use creative. If you're using creative, make sure you use the /fill command and just make a 16 by 16 by 16 cube. You'll save yourself a lot of time, and again, it will just like magically appear in thing, and it's something you might prefer. So yeah, we got ourselves a big white cube, and you're starting to question like, oh yeah, that doesn't really look like a ghast. That looks like a cube till you can't, because until you add a face, a ghast really is just a cube. If you've ever looked at them, like seriously, look at this thing. It's just a cube with tendrils coming out of it, and the tendrils are what give it life, but it really is just a cube otherwise. So yeah, the only thing that really defines the ghast is the fact that it has a huge face attached to it. So again, we could draw our face with black concrete, which we have right now. Again, there's 2 ways you can do this, and the exciting way, the way that I think is interesting, is to have the face, have the Nether portal on the inside and have a face on the outside. So we will be using black concrete just to draw the face, which again looks something like this. So just as a fun example here, because again, this is a build tutorial, but I like to kind of like teach a thing or two about building while we're here that I did pick up during my time, and that is that like if you mess up the facial details even one little bit, you'll spot it like really immediately. So for instance, if we just draw like some random eyes wherever we feel like having eyes, so we just go right here and we're like, this is what eyes look like on a ghast, and we do the same over here. Again, trying to make them, even if you do them like perfectly equidistant, and even if they are technically eyes, so this is my ghast eye for now, as you can see, and then we remove the gap in between. even though like this looks like it's Ghast eyes and a Ghast mouth, honestly the placement of it is so important. If you mess up just a tiny bit, it starts to look really derpy and really mistakey, which might be your thing. You might really like derpy Ghast eyes, in which case here's the perfect way to do it. But if you want to have it look like it's a serious Ghast that just happens to have a Nev Portal face, then instead what you want to do is you want to make sure you get this spacing perfectly. So again, the mouth is going to go just above the very bottom layer here, because that's how mouths work. Remove the corner blocks, because that's what Ghast corners look like. And again, you're seeing that looks suddenly way more like a Ghast mouth. And then for the eyes, again, they're not perfect squares like this, and they're also a little bit lower down. Again, placement is everything, as you learn, I believe, in art school. I mean, I had an art teacher tell me once that it's like roughly halfway down the face you want to draw the eyes, which is contrary to a lot of people. But yeah, basically, so maybe it's the same in Minecraft, where if you just go the tiniest bit further down, it's 4 blocks down, not 3 blocks as I did before. So again, have 4 blocks of white for now. Again, it doesn't need to be white, but for now, just have that, and maybe go across here, just so you know this is like above this is like the forehead of the Ghast. Make sure that it's marked out so you don't use it. And then, yeah, this is where the eyes need to go. So this is what eyes look like on a Ghast, of course, but we are getting closer. You are starting to see it. So yeah, what Ghast eyes do actually look like is they kind of, again, it's a really hard one to do, but they kind of are like, you know, like I guess they're like slightly covered on one side, slightly not. Again, if we look at our existing Ghast, you can only see like, oh yeah, he just has his eyes shut. He just has eyebrows there, kind of like you know, some characters in animes and stuff. So instead of doing with something like that, what you want to just do is have like the blocks be up here, but only like some of the blocks. If you surround it entirely, because again, this is the theoretical way to do it. Again, it just starts to look a bit derpy again, and even because the eye is 2x2, it can be really tricky as to exactly how you do this. So we'll do the same over here, just to kind of show that like this is not correct. But you're seeing how we're getting closer now. Like the spacing is right, and it starts to look more like a Ghast, but the eyes are still not quite there. So what I also recommend you do is you move them 1 block to the right. You want to have more spacing between them. Again, that's just an important thing you want to do. So we'll move them to the right now. Again, we're working on the shape later. For now, just make sure you get the placement right, because that's something that's like, it seems so, you know, small and insignificant, but it really is crucial. And now we do that, and suddenly, again, even by having ridiculous eyes, we have a Ghast which looks legit. And you might think the way you do eyes is just like, oh yeah, let's just punch out the corners again, and then it should look like a magical Ghast. However, again, the Ghast eye is a bit bigger than that, but you can't really represent the eye properly. So if you do this, again, you look like a Ghast almost, but something is just off there. It looks like it's flowering its own little way. So the way I'm going to recommend you do this is you have, so just, you know, there's going to be like a 2x2 gap, and that 2x2 gap is going to be roughly going along here. So this right here, so again, this would be it if that, this is roughly where the eye would be, but obviously that brings us to the center. So instead of having this here, we just have 1 gray block over here. So we place 1 gray block there, and the rest of it can just be white instead. So this is going to be, there's going to be like Ghast eye on the left side, and there's going to be Ghast eye on the top up here, but we're not actually going to have any Ghast eye which goes underneath or to the side. And again, this might seem like it's a weird thing to do, because like, but doesn't that kind of make it less non-animated? But we want to make it like blend into the rest of the Ghast a lot better, and not just be like an eye silhouette. Like it's not like a bandit rubber, it is like a part of the thing. So we'll do the same over here. We have like some going along the top, and then some going along the side, but then we immediately switch into, okay, so we'll place some grey concrete there, and some grey concrete there, as well as 1 bit over here, and then some white for the rest. And now this again, if you look back a little bit, you can't quite see it yet, but you can see how it's starting to form. And again, if we're going to just build a Ghast normally, we'd have some red there, but instead what we want to do is have our Nether portal there instead. So make sure you line this up correctly. I'd go bigger than you need to if you have to, because then you can reshape it if you have to. But now comes the really exciting bit, the bit where we actually have the Nether portal, which turns into the Ghast size. So if you've never seen this technique before, it's actually really impressive in my opinion, because if you have a Nether portal just behind something that's really big, it looks like it is in the only holes you make, and it looks like you can make a really custom sized Nether portal. In our case, the custom sized Nether portal is 2x2 here. Again, not a size you can have. You go even smaller if you want to, and on the build I did see in the best Minecraft builds, they went even smaller than that, but again, for now, it's just not crucial, and you just want to have this entire thing be one huge Nether portal. And before we light this, because again, it's not so fun right now, you want to cover every single block of the Nether portal, which isn't going to be the thing. Again, you don't have to cover it directly, you just have to cover the blocks in front of it. So we'll do so in a fairly easy manner, just like this. Again, we'll cover with white for now, we can make the patterns later, but just by covering this up with white, you can see how the effect immediately comes in. The Ghast mouth suddenly immediately looks more like Ghast, and the same will happen with the eyes. And once we do that well enough, so again, you want to go below these now, just now that we've effectively done this, and you want to go a little bit below this and place that there, a little bit below that, place that there. I don't know where there's a black block left there. So if we do this, and then also have a little tear here, because Ghasts are always crying, and again, it looks like it's a tier, but it's kind of not a tier at the same time. It's confusing stuff. Like, just don't question how ghasts are marked in Minecraft. There's a lot of like questionable things going on, and they will change the design soon. So you know, we just say maybe it's a tier, maybe it's not. We we don't get to question that. But the important thing we need to do for our build is just cover every single one of these blocks with a you know, a white thing for now. So that should give us like a real semblance of how the ghast face looks. So cover that as well. Cover these blocks up, just go all the way for that. This gives you a real, like, again, a view and opinion of what the ghast face should look like. And as you can see, now it's suddenly looking like a ghast, but it's still missing something, right? Like, there's no life in this ghast. We're just seeing like a bunch of blocks which vaguely surround it, and it's still not looking quite perfect. So the way we do this better, so also you want to have one block on each side of this. Again, don't question why, it's just how things are apparently, and make sure it's symmetrical. And if we do it symmetrical perfectly, now we've got ourselves a ghast face, which we can breathe life into at any point using our flint and steel. And I'm really excited to do that. But before we do it, just so we can make sure we get things just right, we're going to make sure that we have the tribal markings that ghast has done on the side here. So again, there's like a tribal marking going across here. So it's 3 blocks, starting with the corner, going over here, then 2 blocks below that, it's just 2 blocks. Again, I don't know if it is a tribal marking, but it looks like one to me, so that's what we're going to call it regardless. Again, do the same over here. So it's 3 blocks going to just before the gap in between the tier, then it's 2 blocks going over here, and then it's 1 block after that. Again, this is like a key part of how the ghast looks, because the ghast is a very interesting mob. So place all of these blocks in now that we can be done with these. And then also the ghast has like semi-eyebrows. Again, they're kind of like markings that like are in the place of where eyebrows would be. You can't really like attribute any like facial stuff to a ghast. It's really weird. You know, the ghast as a mob is one of the weirder mobs in Minecraft. Like, again, it's just a floating cube, but it gets even weirder when you realize that it has eyebrows, but kind of not at the same time, and they're also like really, really weirdly placed. So yeah, our eyebrows are going to be just over here, I think, actually, going up like that. I think that might be a little bit too close to the eye, but again, this is the space we have to work with. This is how we're doing things, so we'll do the same over here, I guess. So again, make things like that, and then have the eyebrow up there. And now you can see that's a ghast face. And now let me show you what happens when you breathe life into it using flint and steel. This is the moment you've been waiting for. If you just have this huge portal here, which again, you can only see some of, and you light it on fire, assuming you actually light it correctly on fire, now this is all, you know, Nether portal. And from this side, it looks terrible. You can just see the entire thing, and it's like, oh, that's messed up. But if we go some distance away from it, and then we suddenly turn around, then there we go. That is a ghast. Oh, the fire actually makes it look better, but there is a ghast. Let's go ahead and just like punch that out, shall we? There is a ghast with Nether portals for eyes and Nether portals for a mouth. So yeah, usually in Minecraft, it's got like red eyes, like a demonic face. And here you can see, like, again, the eye thing I mentioned, it only has eyes from some angles, right? But because we've done it like this, now we can look to the left of it, we can look to the right of it, and it has the like kind of Nether portal effect regardless. You can't really see the obsidian. The only angle you can see the obsidian from is if you go really high up, you can see it just about below the mouth. But from every other angle, because we gave it some leeway, it's almost impossible to see those blocks, and it means that the ghast looks like it is, again, like staring at you and about to hit you from pretty much every single angle. So boom, we have now done the ghast face. So now comes the important bit, which is the sides and all that other stuff. Again, we can fit in the sides later. It's like, again, not too crucial. I'd recommend doing like at least a little bit for now. Just, again, some basic duty and covering. But again, if you want to do some basic work, fill in the blocks, do that. But the next important bit is doing the tendrils below it. So this is one that I really struggled with. Like, every time I've tried to make a ghast, I've messed up the tendrils at least a little bit, because the way they're spaced is like really tricky to master, and basically it's a tricky thing. So just what I recommend doing first of all is covering this with white, just so you have like a surface to work on. Maybe even like make sure that just so you can see like where the center is and stuff. Like do a line going just down the center, just so you can always make sure this stuff is equalized. Because again, there's like there's 3 rows of tendrils. The first and the front and the back, they're perfectly even, but the middle row is like really weird. And again, it's designed that way to clearly for some reason, but it does mean that you're going to have a really weird effect. So yeah, the middle row of tendrils is starting just behind the Nether portal, just over here as you can see. You start and you have a couple of blocks which go like this, and again, this is part of the design which came straight from the Reddit guy, which again, really appreciate it to him. You want to go ahead and you want to go down a little bit, then you go down something like 4 blocks at a time. So something like this. Again, we can make these thicker later, but for now we go about 4 blocks down, and then we go out another few blocks, and then we go another 4 blocks down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you can see, we just about hit the very bottom there. And that's one of the Ghast Tendrils. And when you have one Ghast Tendril, they look ridiculous. But obviously, it's about having a lot more than one. So you want to go all the way to the back as well. And like I said, there's a back row which matches your front row perfectly. And you want to go ahead and you want to make sure every time you do a front row one, you also do a back row. So the back row does start a few layers in front because it goes backwards and not forwards. So you start something like 4 rows back. I want to say 4. You know, we'll go 3 rows back just so it, again, making sure this is perfectly the same in as many ways as we can do it. And then it goes like back a block or like kind of like this, I guess. So there we go. And then we want to go 4 rows down again. Because, again, that's like technically 2 rows because one of them comes from the front. Which actually, I guess that means it'd be like that. Yeah, so then we go 2 rows. And then we go 4 rows down just like this. And then we go behind this. And then we go the extra 3 again. So, again, now you can see, like, the tendrils, once they match up, they're starting to look more like the Ghast little feet things. Again, only having one of them isn't quite there, but now you can see how, like, immediately once we start adding more stuff, it just really starts to make sense. And also it gets a lot easier to make these after you make more one of them. Again, Ghast Tendrils, another thing you ever assume you're making in your Minecraft career. When you first start playing Minecraft, you're like, I'm gonna make the best house in the world, and then suddenly, you know, you're making giant cats and end cities and, you know, bad cars, and also Ghast Tendrils. And again, making sure you get them perfectly centered, because this is a 16 by 16 thing. You need everything to be exactly center. Is actually it's really, really crucial. More crucial than some people will give it credit for. So yeah, once we've done that and we place another tendril just right here, again, the diagonal motion thing really is crucial. You can see how all of a sudden we've gone from being, okay, we've got to destroy some blocks down here. We've gone from having a thing which looked like it was just a cube, which was vaguely a Ghast, to like, now this looks like a full-on Ghast. Just the front 3 tendrils is honestly enough from some angles to fool the illusion, but as you can see from the side here, it's just not quite there. So you need to now copy the thing you've done, again, perfectly the same, but like, again, line up everything with everything else, and then you want to do the same just over here. So we'll go down from this now, go down 4 blocks, and wait, is this lined up? This isn't lined up. So you can see, that's how easy it is to make a mistake. You make a mistake like that, suddenly the Ghast isn't lined up, your whole life is ruined. Everything, you might as well tear down the build, just exit without saving, try it again, because it's clearly not working out right. But yeah, just make sure it's perfectly lined up with the thing in front of it, as well as the thing on the side of it, and then you'll have a thing like this. So there we go, Ghast tendril, perfect. So then we have one more over here, and then that's the front and the back set done. So again, make sure it lines up, make sure it lines up. Again, it seems like such a small thing, but like the first time I did this, it's one of those easy mistakes to make that just really wrecks everything. It's like with the Ghast face, there's so many tiny mistakes you can make in Minecraft, which ruins so much. Like the difference between a good builder and a bad builder isn't that like the good builder just is like this artistically minded, amazing human being. It's really just like making sure you don't make some common mistakes, because the way our eye perceives art and the way we perceive really good things is really based on like some minor details that people who are good at these things are good at mastering. So yeah, that's why there's so many different art styles that can appear good, but there's also so many different art styles that can be bad, because it's not about how you're doing it or what you're deciding to build, it's about how the end result ends up. So yeah, there we go. Now we've got the white Ghast underbelly done, and you can see how like it's looking better, but we're still missing something, and this is because Ghasts, so let's find out Ghast just quickly so I can show you. A Ghast, okay, he's around here somewhere, I can hear him. Where there is, whatever, so there is a Ghast somewhere around the world. You know what, let's just make a second one. You can see how they've got like this middle row, and the middle row is offset like the tiniest number of blocks, like I'd say like 1 block to the left, 2 blocks to the left, and this just means that it looks like there's like random floating tendrils all over the place. And again, it's weird the fact that they decided to do that, but we just have to go with it, and that means we have to offset somewhere exactly in the middle. So is exactly in the middle possible? I think it is, just over here, and then you want to offset it 1 block to the left, and just do the exact same thing you've been doing, but do it offset 1 block. And again, that seems silly, but that's just what we're doing right here. So 4 blocks, and then we go back a block, and then we do 3 blocks. And now it looks way more realistically like a Ghast, because again, Ghasts are not natural. They don't care about your rules and your symmetry or anything. They just want to have one random set of tendrils, all the way disconnected from the rest, for reasons I still don't entirely understand. So then we go 3 blocks from here until we hit the surface there too, and then we've got our middle tendrils just about done. And honestly, once you've done this, you'll see just immediately the effect really proves itself. Like, so, okay, wait, we need to have a layer in front of this one too. You'll see immediately, as soon as you do the tendrils, it goes from being this huge box you have in the sky to being the beautiful nether portal machine you wanted it to be. So as soon as we finish this, I said, again, I really want to like show this all on the video, so you really are looking at it non-stop. You can just see like everything has to be lined up, everything has to like, you have to look at it compared to everything else, and you have to go, yep, it's the same. So for instance, here we've done this angle in too early. It should be up here. Oh no, it shouldn't be up there. We've done something very slightly wrong here, and I believe it's just like the feet not going in high enough. Again, easy mistake to make. Hard mistake to find the exact pixel. Same thing we've done back here, actually. Again, this is why I was making this whole point about how you shouldn't do that, and in the video while I was talking about that, I was making this exact mistake. So there we go. Now the tendrils are done. Oh, this middle one actually is too long. It's only on this one. It's so easy to make these tiny mistakes like this, but now I fixed it and we're done, and we have a fully functioning Ghast body. So there are a few details I'll finish up. I'll do them in fast forward now because it's boring, just like, look at the side of the Ghast, look how we have patterns there. But yeah, if you want to fill this in with white, most people probably wouldn't notice. Now we have the most amazing thing sitting on my thing right here, and if you really wanted to, if you wanted to be crazy, you could link the side of the Nether you go into. So this is going to link to a random portal. It's going to make one right now, I believe. You could link the inside of this so the Nether looks like it's the inside of the Ghast, and it'd be like transporting inside, like, you know, the Ghast's intestinal tracts or something. Again, I don't know if you like that idea. I really do though, and that's a thing you totally could line up if you wanted to, or you can just use it as your access point for the Nether. Again, either way you do it, it looks great, and let me show you how great it looks from over here as it loads in slowly. So again, I'm just down here on the ground, I'm flying around, and suddenly what loads into my rend distance is the Ghast with the Nether portal. And isn't that just nuts? I think it is, and hopefully you all do agree. So yeah, I'll just quickly speed through the rest of this, and then we'll go to the actual video. Okay, so as you can see, now we finished the Ghast on all sides, and we get a lot better angles from a lot of places. Like previously, it looked kind of confusing and weird, but now you can see how it's pretty much all finished in, and from pretty much every angle, you know, from the back it still looks like a cube. From pretty much every angle where you can see the face, the Ghast now is this terrorizing thing that looks like it's just taken over my mountain. And if you wanted to be extra fun with this, you could then destroy the mountain afterwards, or, you know, make it a little bit lower, because it's a little bit close to the ground for my liking. But still, again, all you have to do is like do some basic effort and just like remove the whole thing, and then you can end up with this amazing, again, I feel like this is one of the best things that I want to build in survival. I probably will build it in survival at some point soon, but if you want to build it in creative or survival, here's the tutorial on how to do so, and I hope this did help you. So if you did like the video, like and let me know, because it helps out the channel. Let's know you do like the build tutorials. I want to do more crazy like mobs into useful structures like this, because again, building mobs in Minecraft, really fun thing. Having such an amazing use for your NF portal, really fun thing. And yeah, if you want to see more of that on this channel, make sure you like if you liked it, share if you liked it, and make sure you hit the bell so you can see these videos daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching all of this extra long video, and I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.